Okay. This time, that's too low. It always is. Alright, is that better? Not really. Okay, this one time they've been talking about net neutrality, and it seems like there's some important facts they're missing on this. And the relationship with Mitch McConnell, and I hear Fox talk about Mitch McConnell and Trump, and the two are at odds, and I think there's a lot of things Fox isn't saying. There's more to Mitch McConnell than Fox is bringing out. But anyway, Ajit Pai appears to be the head of the FCC. The way I understand it, I don't know much about it. Net neutrality, how the internet works. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. I mean, how they censor it and everything. And the people on YouTube, they're doing it all the time and are real familiar with it, seem to know a lot more than I do. But I do know a little bit. I know that they didn't seem to bring out. Ajit Pai appears to be appointed to the FCC for one reason and one reason only. When I put all these facts together. And that is, well, actually two reasons. One is to shut up YouTube, but mainly is to protect campaign finance corruption, government corruption. Because according to several sources, he was put in by Mitch McConnell. Obama put him in. Mitch McConnell had something to do with his appointment, and he is the kingpin of campaign finance corruption in Congress. It's like I say, where you have campaign finance corruption, you have, everything sucked to the periphery. So the voter's out of the equation. You can't get anything passed. It seizes up Congress. Like I say, the left has the trial lawyers and the environmentalists on the left. And on the right, you have the hospitals, the doctors, the pharmaceutical industry, and corporate America. And they all pull both of Congress towards the periphery. So that's why they seize up, and that's why there's polarization and why nothing gets done. Well, anyway, the kingpin, it's like if you have a car running, one analogy would be to say your car doesn't run right, there's a bad plug, it isn't working. Mitch McConnell is the bad plug. He's the Al Capone. He's the kingpin. He's the ground zero, basically, for campaign finance corruption. He's it. And They put a law through a long time ago, the McCain-Feingold law, which put caps on campaign money to stop the corruption. Mitch McConnell made the statement that I don't care whether there's a law or not against campaign money. I'm going to take it anyway. We're going to get it. We're going to get it under the table. We'll get it one way or the other, regardless of the McCain-Feingold law. He's a very vocal proponent of campaign finance corruption. And if he put Ajit Pai in there, Ajit Pai is a corporate lawyer. He worked for, according to what they say, he worked for Verizon. He's going to come in and knock net neutrality off, repeal it or whatever, knock it off, get back for Verizon and get a big raise. He's a corporate lawyer. Corporate lawyers have strong biases. It's just the same thing they did in the Supreme Court where the damnable W had an oil company, wanted to protect it. He put two corporate lawyers in the Supreme Court. They both have strong biases. They aren't neutral. It's like I say, it's like a divorce case where you got one side representing the wife, the other side represents the husband. The wife gets her attorney and sticks him in as the judge. That's how fair it is. In other words, he's there for one reason only, to protect campaign finance corruption and to shut up YouTube and the internet. So of course he's going to argue. I mean, if you ask him why he's protecting Verizon, why he's protecting their interests, why he's shutting up YouTube, why he's knocking off net neutrality, he's going to have a whole big list of lies, exaggerations, half-truths, double talk. Because he's been a corporate lawyer. That's all they do, deceive juries. That's their job. That's all they've ever done. They deceive juries up one side and down the other. They know what they're doing. They know how to lie. It's their profession. It's like that. That's how they make their bread and butter, basically, is lying to juries and deceiving them. You know damn well he's going to know how to do it. And just the mere fact that Mitch McConnell put him in, he's the kingpin of corruption, just by that fact alone, don't even listen to him. you know he's not. You know he's up to no damn good. Okay, well, see, you had a big movement, and the other thing that bothers me, we had a pretty good movement. We had the Ross Perot movement, and the media supported him. I mean, Ross Perot was on, national TV talking about campaign finance corruption, revolving door, everything, keeping the border shut up, and all the things Trump's doing, essentially. Well, they kept him out of the debates. Like I say, in several earlier reports, they ganged up, kept him out of the debates, and they teamed up with the Federal Election Commission, kept him out of the debates. Well, then after that, there were two bills. One bill went through Bill Clinton that gave all the media to the corporates. The corporates bought them all out, and Clinton signed the bill. I should have vetoed it. I suppose the Clinton Foundation got a bunch of money, and plus they took votes away from Democrats. But anyway, ever since then, basically the corporate media's run everything. They don't mention campaign finance reform, totally shut up. Well, Al Gore put the internet to counteract it. Well, now the internet, and then with Donald Trump being in there and Fox, you basically got Fox trying to close the borders up, with O'Reilly and Hannity talking about, the illegal aliens, how they rape women, so on, why the borders need to be shut up. And you've got the corporate media trying to counteract them. Well, now with Fox and O'Reilly had pretty big ratings. And it looks to me, and this is just a theory, I don't know for sure, but it looks to me like O'Reilly's ratings got so big, and then YouTube, and with the two combined, YouTube, and that means Cenk and Debbie and Figueredo, Secular Talk, so on, and O'Reilly, you have them with campaign finance reform pushing it, and O'Reilly keeping the borders open, or closing up the borders and pushing that. The two had more power than the corporate media, the two put together. So what do? Sponsors all pulled out, knocked O'Reilly off. Now they tried to knock the sponsors off of YouTube. And now they're trying to use the FCC to shut up YouTube, is what it appears to me. So you have Amazon, who owns the Washington Post, which lies about Trump constantly. They're a pact, essentially. They want those borders open because, like I say, open borders, they keep wages low. That way people don't make a living wage, and there's not as many jobs, and they don't have to raise their wages to keep it in the packing plants, or whoever, all the corporates that want them open. And there seems to be a pact between Amazon, Comcast, Viacom, Disney, Time Warner, Verizon. They're all part of a pact. Well, it looks to me that, they've had reports of Verizon, who is, what do you call it? They said they were throttling Netflix and YouTube or something like that, and because the FCC isn't going to stop them. I don't know, but there seems to be a move, and I assume it just got so big, that they were a threat. That's what it appears to me. That's my theory. And let's see. It's like I say, he who owns the media basically controls the government. It's a power struggle, sovereignty over the government. The one man, one vote. Right now, 1% of the corporate owners, which make up 1% of the population, control 99% of the government. They have all the votes, and the 99% controls about 1%. But there's a power struggle between the two. Well, anyway, with Trump in there, it's kind of reversed. I mean, he's cut into corruption pretty good. And as I say, it's like a queen when you're playing chess. Anybody knows if you have a queen, you go to town with you, and the other guy doesn't have one. The media is like the queen, and the one that owns the media basically has a lot of power over the sovereignty of the government. And let's see. And that's what other issue. People need to watch their YouTube numbers. That's the other thing. I mean, for example, if someone has said they thought they were somehow censoring it through, like you have several ways to find certain things. Like, for example, if someone wanted to look up me, they'd look under campaign finance corruption, campaign finance reform, something like that. Well, they say they're blocking this, so not many people find them. But people that have certain numbers on there ought to be watching them. For example, I assume everybody accelerates and builds their base, so an acceleration, so if someone has x cubed as their acceleration, all of a sudden it's x squared. I'd wonder if there wasn't someone censoring them. And like if their numbers go down, or if they come out in the red, you know they're being censored. And people know net neutrality apparently is, there's a strong support base for it. Figueredo said there was 87% of the public supports net neutrality, and Ajit Pai's been in there a long time, and so they kept him at bay apparently. And so either YouTubers know how to fight, but Google's afraid of them. I don't know. I thought Google was an ally, but I'm not sure. But they said they've been taken over by the Alphabet Corporation, so maybe the Alphabet Corporation is where the trouble is why they're starting to censor it. But if they've kept them at bay and they know how they've done it for all this time, and 87% support net neutrality, it seems like they could fight him off. But people need to watch their numbers. That's all I know. If they're being censored, and know what companies to boycott and who to write to Google. Someone actually also suggested to tell Trump. And here's the thing: Trump and McConnell are at odds. So tell Trump that net neutrality is important in his quest to drain the swamp. In other words, if he really is serious and his heart in it, in some ways, it seemed like his daughter Ivanka knew more about what's going on. She brought out, she says, the reason there's so much noise against Trump is because he's trying to drain the swamp. That's the reason you have the investigation. It's the only reason it's there. It had to do with public interest. That's what Comey said. Public interest is a direct result of Viacom, or not Viacom, but Time Warner, and pushing it through CNN. That's where the public interest, that's the source of it, is all that fake media. And she said that the reason you have all the noise against him and the reason you have the investigation against him is one reason only, because they want those borders, they want to keep the White House in disarray so they can seize a Congress of their campaign money and keep that wall out of there and keep their wallet fat. That's what it is. And she seemed to figure that out, where I've never heard Trump make that comment, but I think he's getting it too. But what people need to do is go to Trump and say that net neutrality is important in him draining the swamp. That's the one voice, that's the one thing that counteracts the campaign finance corruption, the revolving door, and the gerrymandering. Those three things, people talk against them, speak against them, and rally the public. And I guess that's all. So I'm going to tell you what Trump needs to say. Oh, what Trump needs to say to Mitch McConnell: you're fired. And I guess that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.